1, 2, 3, 4. We're horny. We're horny for love.
Cheers! And welcome to Horny for Love, a podcast about two reformed prudes reclaiming their sexuality weekly in Los Angeles.
I feel like our guests can't relate to that one.
Maybe not.
Being a prude.
What?
Anyway, our thing is that we're prudes.
We were prudes.
Yeah. But anyways.
Oh,
so,
you're in for some shit.
Oh, God. Oh,
Prude.
God.
It's a lot more complicated than you think.
Oh, shit. Okay. That's a little teaser. So, first things first, I'm Andrea Lee Christensen, your favorite host.
I'm John Anthony, your better host. I feel like we've done this one. We've done that before.
We're bringing it back because this is season 2.
You're right.
And this is our guest.
Tapley James.
Ooh, self-introduction.
Ooh.
But I don't really think I need the James part. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like being named Oprah, and you can just call me Tapley.
No, I think
like
you're
that.
a Madonna
Yeah,
moment.
moniker.
Well,
Yes.
I was about to say it, but now I don't have to. Thank you so much. I agree.
Wait, can I ask, like, Tapley? Where does that come from?
Well, so in probably December 1986, I was about to be born. My dad was reading some lame book about the Battle of the Alamo. I've seen the book before. It looked very boring, so I've never read it. But apparently some guy named James Tapley started the conflict. James is my family name. My dad thought it was cool, so he flipped it around. Call me Tapley James.
Wow.
That is pretty rock and roll.
Wait, is your dad an artist?
No, he is dead, though.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
He was a cokehead and worked in the oil field. That's about all I know.
Okay.
It wasn't a major part of my life. But he was a big stoner, I believe, whenever I was about to be born. And I think was interested in, like, psychedelic art and shit like that. It was probably like a drug hallucination.
Well, I feel like it worked out, though.
Yeah,
it's
thanks.
Very unique.
I mean, I was at risk of being named either Biff or Zane if my mom
Biff?
had her way. Yeah,
Biff?
Back to the Future was very popular.
Oh.
I feel like Zane could be cool, though.
I mean, but there's so many of them, you know?
That's
Yeah.
true. There's no Tapley. I've
There
never
is no
met anyone
Tapley.
named Tapley.
Well, I will say I do have it on pretty good authority that there is a teenage girl living in one of the Carolinas with the first name Tapley. I have seen her on Instagram. I will kill her on sight if we ever.
Wait, that's so funny because when I think like our first episode, we were referencing these two little girls in like South Carolina as our only listeners.
Yeah.
And
somewhere
that-
out there.
Hey, little Tapley,
Yeah.
I'm gonna fuck you up.
Big Tapley's coming.
Big Tapley.
So Tapley,
Yeah.
what do you do?
Well, I work at this restaurant with one of you called.
Oh,
No, we can't
We're
name
gonna
it. We
bleep
can't
that.
name
We're gonna
it.
bleep that. We're bleeping
Yeah,
that.
we're
Just
bleep.
kidding.
It's fine. Who cares? We just work at a West Hollywood institution.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
fair.
Called
That's
Pump.
fair.
Hate it,
Yeah, hate it.
but
I
no.
always take Tapley shifts.
Absolutely. Yes, I moonlight as a semi-high paid waiter, I would say.
Yeah.
Mostly on the weekends.
I think so.
We do okay where we are. And then, but my primary interest, sometimes I'm hired, sometimes I'm not, TV writer.
Beautiful.
Writing.
You just sold a feature, right?
I did.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Yes, it's not something that I ever had too much of an interest in. Again, I'm more TV focused, but
Really?
yeah, but I had a good idea. For the first thing I wrote, of course, was a feature, and that's what first got me attention. But it's been on and popping with TV ever since. But I did come up with an idea that just seemed like a no-brainer. Developed it and sold the damn thing.
Wait, how long did it take you to write this one?
It only took about 3 weeks to write the thing, but it probably took about. It was a really active thought and something that I was developing pretty
Like in your head.
with a lot of fervor for about 2 months. Yeah.
That's still really short.
Yeah, I mean, it really was just like I said.
Like it just
it's
flowed
one
out of
the-
you.
It was super. It's one of those really rare ideas that just as soon as you have it, you just know it's gonna work. So I had to attack it. That never happens for me.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Well, no, I'm just thinking. I'm thinking because I also write, and I'm like, I get it. Like sometimes you have that idea, and you're just like, I just wish I could just like devote myself to one thing for just 2 months, or to bang it out. Because I feel like I don't do that.
We'll see. I generally don't either myself. But look, I always look at good ideas as being an idea that is completely relatable, something that's been done a million times over before, that has a formula that people can really relate to, but you're able to find one unique hook, one unique twist that just sort of bends the whole thing. And this was one of those rare ideas. It was something completely unoriginal with a unique twist. It was easy to pitch in the room, relatively easy to write.
I could see them just eating it up.
And they did.
And
they
did.
bought
It
it.
happened quickly. Who knows? But you never know after you make a sale. You never know what will or will not happen, if it'll ever see the light of day. But I have good feelings about this.
Yeah. But that's why you got to celebrate every moment of the journey.
That's right.
The sale is huge.
That's right. Yeah. So
So Tapley, you started as an actor.
I did.
So did I.
So did I too.
And are you the only remaining one?
So the thing is that John Anthony and I studied at an unnamed institution for acting in New York City, and so did Tapley.
Wow.
Yeah. I definitely did go to an institution that I suppose will remain unnamed as well. Mine
I think
was
you
on the
should
Upper
name
West Side.
it. It's next to
sound
Lincoln
familiar?
Center.
I've heard of it. Yeah.
Um,
Wait, I want to ask.
I would say it's
Typically hard to get in, but
the
not for
best
me.
one in the world, probably.
So.
Wait, I have a lot of questions for you about this, actually.
Okay.
Well,
You seem
what was
reluctant,
what
Tapley.
was the most toxic thing that happened to you in acting school?
Most toxic thing that happened to me in acting school was one particular teacher who I had who kind of took immense pleasure in bullying the ego out of me. And in a weird sense, I look at the time, I hated this person. I thought that she was detrimental to my process, and at the time I didn't savor nor enjoy any of my dealings with her. But when I look back, I am able to see that she kind of treated me the way that she did because she expected me to be very good and was trying to push my boundaries, and she definitely did. But it with a bunch of she got there by doing a bunch of kind of heinous, embarrassing shit to me, just socially kind of would try and make me a pariah with the other students.
Whoa, like
Try
how?
and find ways to like dig into certain insecurities that I'm sure were clear that I had and exploit them to make me more emotional, which in her mind made me more vulnerable, which also in her mind made me a better actor, which sometimes I guess it did in the moment. But
but it's like, do the ends justify the means?
No, because I don't act anymore. I guess not.
Yeah.
But,
Shit. Did you come to that school like kind of being like emotionally closed off, you think?
Yes, I didn't think of myself as being that way at the time, but yeah, looking back, definitely.
Were you gay in acting school?
Absolutely.
Okay. Wait, when
Yes.
did you come out?
Did
you ever come out?
Yes and no, sort of. So I think it was basically by the time I was 12, the assumption was just there from everybody that I went to school with.
Yeah.
The question would very often be like, are you gay? And all of that. And my answer, I just kind of had an inherent comfortability at a young age with being like, yes, I am.
Wow.
Because I was kind of usually always the tallest kid in my class. I was never one to be bullied and didn't have a lot of fear in that department. So I was always pretty comfortable letting people know where I stood with my sexuality, and people don't fuck with me too hard, I would say. And if they did, I would just find some
You would just be
toxic way to make them feel horrible about like their
my
financial status or like
God.
their obesity.
Reading them for
because I'm
filth.
from like West Texas, so
Shit.
most of those yokels didn't have a lot of space to talk shit, But yeah, it was cool. And then I'm raised by my grandparents, and I was busted at 14 jacking off with my friend after school.
Was this friend
on a bench at
gay?
the edge of my bed? And no, it was more of like a straight experimentation.
I've
And
heard
we
of those
definitely,
things.
Like, fooled around a lot. Would make out hardcore and play with each other's wieners and
Oh.
that kind of stuff.
Whoa.
But yeah,
He's not gay? Like, or bi?
I haven't kept in touch
or
with him. I don't know what his
something?
deal is. I know that he ended up working out in like he's like a welder and probably I think kind of a meth head, and I believe had a girlfriend for a really long time.
Okay.
No, I mean there are a number
Bicon.
West Texas, there are a lot of just kind of like horny straight people to fool around with.
Okay.
Oh my
you know,
God.
but I just wanted to get off, and I was willing. But many of them have gone on to have children and wives and that kind of thing.
Do you keep in touch with anyone from your hometown or not really?
No.
Oh.
No.
What about from?
Honestly, I mean, I have one girl who doesn't even live in my hometown anymore. Like, we text each other on our birthdays, and that's it.
Oh.
What about from the Upper West Side, if you know what I mean?
No, not really.
No?
Honestly, I literally at this point, I did do 2 programs. I went to the one that allegedly the 2 of you went to as well.
Maybe.
And,
You did for grad
maybe.
school?
No. Well,
Oh.
I also went to another, like a 2-year program.
Okay.
At the time.
For acting?
Yes, that was at the time called the School for Film and Television at the Three of Us Studios. But now it's been made theater friendly as well. So it's called the New York Conservatory for the Dramatic Arts.
I don't know it.
NIADA,
Yeah.
right?
Or NY,
Right.
NY,
I feel like Miata's where they went to on Glee.
NY.
You're right. You're so right.
And basically, it was the exact
was
same
that.
program as the one in Glee, but it was
Yeah.
called. It's now called NYCDA. But point is, when I went there, it was a conservatory. They would take a limited number of people, like something like 30 people a year, and it was focused only on film acting. And since they made the switch, it's now theater friendly too. So you can do a film acting program or a theatrical acting program. But yeah, pretty much it was just like, I want to make money someday. And
So
I
film.
should probably learn how to act on camera, or else I'm going to be
Yeah.
doing all
Oh,
of this
shit.
Why, you don't think you got that at your
off-Broadway
program?
trash. No. Well, look, I mean, there were like a lot of fundamental things about acting that I certainly was able to learn at my original program, but no, it wasn't engineered to like give you a deep dive into the actual technical process of being good on camera, which
Yeah.
is a very different thing.
It's a whole
sure.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which you know this, but
Did you go there right after high school?
yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And then how long did you act after before you're like, I don't want to do this anymore?
Well, so this was like 2005, you know, whenever I left Texas, moved to New York City. And then by 2012, I was at the place where I was like, I'm sick and tired of going to auditions. I fucking hate cattle calls. I'm going to write something for myself, you know? And it was kind of like the era of the web series.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
We're familiar.
We know
I
her.
kind of got to work trying to figure out how to do that. You know, I came up with an idea for a character that I thought was funny. Put together a little team to film some very cheap content. But it ended up getting more, and in that process, I was learning how to write. You know, I was starring in the thing. I was smart enough to know right away, like, don't try and direct this. Don't hire people that you know and who you're friends with who, you know, could like slack off and, you know, try and fuck you over. I assembled a whole team of just people whose work I admired, people who were strangers to me. And, whatever, it paid off. I ended up getting a lot more attention than I expected with that character, which led to my first sale as a writer, which was a feature sale. And when I got that money, that check as a writer, when I saw that number, I was like, okay, yeah, fuck acting.
Oh my God.
If I actually got really good at this thing, then, you know, who cares? I don't have to act anymore. I don't have to like think nearly as much about what I look like, what any of that stuff. And yeah, so I just there was something about that process and about that project that just really emboldened me to take writing very seriously, and I sort of never looked back.
Wow.
Outside of a few, like, you know, for a number of years I would still get certain straight offers, and if it was like somebody who I'd worked for before, who had a general understanding of what I was capable of as an actor, and they just offered me something, that I would take it.
Yeah,
I still will, and sometimes kind of do today, but it's not at all my priority. It's not at all.
You were like in 2 pilots last year, right?
Well, yes,
He's like, I hate acting, never want to do it.
but
by the
no,
way,
and I don't hate it. I don't hate acting, and it was the first thing that I ever felt like I was actually good at, you know, and I'll always have a place in my heart. And of course, like if some huge opportunity came knocking, I would never turn it down and do what I would need to rise to the occasion, but it's just not the priority. I'm a better storyteller than I am a story portrayer. but I'm really good at both. You know?
Did you ever feel like you had to like compromise your own self-actualization or personality to like have a career as an actor or to be successful in acting school?
Yes, I did. And in fact, the teacher that I had originally, or that I told you about originally, who
The toxic
gave me
bitch.
a really
No, I'm
hard
just
time.
kidding.
Her big thing, and she would make a great show of it. It was always, she's this very kind of cruel, even more anorexic version of Nicole Kidman.
Oh
let's say,
my
but
God.
from British.
Is she
From
working?
from England, and. I think she was very successful in theater many moons ago, but she's got to be in her 60s by now. I don't think. I didn't.
Do
know
those
her to really
teachers
work professionally?
like work or no?
Sometimes.
Oh,
It just kinda
okay.
depends, or at least have kind of a history of having had worked at some point. But generally, it's over for them.
Oh my
Like,
God. Those who can't do.
But I don't know. She would. She in particular would make this, and this was sort of kind of a resounding. I would get this feedback a lot in different ways, but she was the most blatant, who would be like, you're Gary Oldman. You can act basically anything that I put in front of you, but who the fuck cares? Like, look at you. You're so just strange looking. I have no idea what to do with you. I have no idea. You can act a leading man, but you're not a leading man. You're a character actor, but probably a little more attractive than your standard one. I don't know. You either will work or you won't work. And
Jesus Christ.
that kind of a thing.
A mind fuck kind of.
But then to really answer your question, the gay thing, and she was just like, in your sexuality, it's just you can fake it, but it's all over the place. And this was like the mid earlier aughts, like
Right.
the mid 2000s. Like there was not any kind of hunger for queer content.
No.
There were no real diversity quotas, and I'm like mixed ethnicity, and she would make a big to do. It wasn't just about being gay. There were a lot of other mitigating factors.
Yeah.
But yes, it was a pretty consistent, tough thing to kind of have to navigate with like sexuality and just looking kind of off kilter. And that's why ultimately that was a huge part of what compelled me to do something for myself. And the character that I ended up choosing to like stack that initial web series that led to that sail around was the most blatantly gay person you could possibly imagine.
Of course.
Like, I kind of just wanted to lean into that.
Yeah.
And it worked well enough for what I needed it to. So
Well,
Is it still online?
no, but I do have evidence. I have some links on Vimeo that are password protected if you'd like to see.
yeah.
I kind of do, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's why I
And
asked.
I think a few lingering like old social accounts that I never managed to delete. But anyway.
Yeah, I asked you that because that's like kind of what pushed me away from acting. Because even though like it was like years later we were in acting school, I don't know if it was like the case everywhere, but specifically where we were at acting school, it was very like masculine, like
Right.
very David Mamet. If you know, you know.
Yes.
Very hyper masculine, very like there's a lot of straight guys, like a lot of straight guys in our acting program.
I
And
don't
it was
think
like
any of them are masculine.
I know, but like
Like maybe one.
yeah, but that was like masculinity was king.
Sure.
Oh yeah.
Of course.
And
Sure.
like that goes for the women too, like in terms of like if you fit into the like ideal like stereotypical
The ideal woman.
like the ideal woman in the eyes of this white man.
Through the lens of the male
Yeah,
gaze,
through the lens
course.
of the male gaze, then you'll do well at this place. And I was like still in the closet when I first started acting school and was just like struggling so much because I felt like when I got there, it reinforced my toxic ideas that like I would have no shot at a career if I
Right.
was gay. And I was like watching it happen in front of me because there were out gay guys there. And I was like, not
Yeah.
going well for them,
Yeah.
not going well.
I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but instinctually, I think I always just understood. I'm like, look, I can't really control what I look like. I can't control my sexuality. And I just kind of chose, and I've always been like that about everything. I sort of just chose to lean into those aspects of myself and exploit them and mine them in the best way that I could. And make creativity out of that. That sounds really muddled. I don't know if it makes sense.
No, it does
but,
make sense.
I've always just had a rebel spirit. And
Yeah.
if, like someone tells me something, you know, or perceives something with me as a problem, I try and turn it into a gift.
Yeah.
You know, and
That's beautiful.
That is beautiful. Yeah.
yeah.
It's taken me a lot
and
longer
look
to
at the-
learn that.
and
Yeah.
look at the world now. I started it. Diversity quotas everywhere. Gay people.
DEI.
It truly is like the gayest of gay eras. Yeah. Maybe I should actually go back into acting.
Maybe you should.
Why not? You
Be
can do
so
both.
rich.
You
do you
could
think
do
your
both.
agent would rep you for acting also?
I still technically have a talent.
Oh.
I have talent rep,
Oh,
but I'm useless
sick.
to them. And I have no money. So, yeah.
Except for those 2 pilots, but you know, who cares?
Like I said, I make them no money.
Do you make money from
But-
pilots?
I mean,
I just did one. I got paid $400, and it was SAG. Isn't that
she
crazy?
just answered the fucking
True.
question.
Oh my
So
That is a
not
hard
really.
no.
It's one night at the restaurant.
Yeah. What are we doing?
Sorry,
It is.
just saying.
Tapley, my favorite thing that you say about the place we work is it's about selling sex.
That's right.
I feel like
Everything is about sex.
we
I
should
mean
talk
that.
about sex.
Okay, let's talk about sex.
Well,
So-
what first, sex or love?
Love first. Tapley, do you believe in love? Do you believe
Yes,
in the
do
one?
you?
Yes, I do.
You believe in the one.
Oh,
I'm not sure anymore. I think
Okay.
I've lived most of my life thinking that the answer to that question is a hard yes, but I don't know.
Do you think you've like felt a love that's like akin to the one?
Yes.
And now you're like, whatever.
No. No, I'm not whatever. I know that like it's complicated. It was like all of the Okay, so I'm so sorry, you're probably going to have to edit this part. It's
We love getting messy.
how do I really answer this? So basically my last relationship, let's say, is somebody that I would classify as like on a level of fun, on a level of passion, on a level of good chemistry, sex, etc. To this day, like this person remains the one in those regards. Like I haven't met anybody who sort of satisfied any of those bullet points for me, I suppose, in the way that this person had. But on the other side of that, there was a lot of baggage in that relationship that came with all of that splendor and all of that good. And the baggage was really bad. It ended up being like a very toxic, physically, emotionally abusive relationship. And so in that respect, I definitely know that this was not the one, and this was not my person for the rest of my life, etc. But that being said, when I'm able to detach from that bad stuff and just idealize the good, that person is still the one kind of that I've experienced the closest thing to sort of true intimacy with, you know? And although things got bad, you know, I can blame this person all day long, but I also have to take responsibility for my part of the relationship too. And that I wasn't perfect. And I think it was sort of, we met at the wrong time, and who
COVID?
knows? What's
Wasn't it
that?
COVID?
No, it was pre-COVID that we
Oh,
had, but
okay.
we did experience all of lockdown together.
Wow.
And COVID did happen too soon for us. Like
Oh, yeah.
Looking back, we definitely weren't established enough to have to be in the same apartment every single day.
Yeah, that
with
happened
3
to a lot
dogs.
of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But to answer your question, yes, I do believe in love. I believe in true love. I don't know if the one exists.
Right.
But
But
I
one.
like to think so. Definitely.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's like, and now that I'm in, believe it or not, this is my first single kind of real single moment kind of ever.
Really?
Yeah.
Can't relate. My whole life's been one big single moment.
Yeah. Please do not tell anybody, but I am 36 years old. And I truly, but since becoming single in the middle of last summer, this is kind of the most extended amount of time that I have spent not being in a relationship, period.
How does that feel?
Horrific and liberating all at once. Yeah. So quick trajectory, 19 to 25, had my first long-term boyfriend in New York
That
City.
is long.
That is
Yeah.
crazy.
Yep.
That's like mine, except mine was 20 to 26. Yeah.
Yeah. So, it was a very long one.
I feel like that's so rare, like for gay people.
Well, listen up. So, so a month later, or we break up a month later, and then meet the next one. We're together 5 years.
Holy
my
shit.
God.
How?
Hi, David. Shout out to you. Truly.
Do we still like
we did
him?
not at all
Like-
belong together, for the long term. But out of all of my exes, he's the one that I think of as being like the best. Person. And he's the only one. I wouldn't say that we keep super regular contact, but I definitely hear from him at least once every 3 or so months. We're still on
He's in New York?
sweet terms. No, he moved during COVID to somewhere near Nashville.
Okay.
And back near where he's from. But anyway, he was just the sweetest. It didn't work out, but he was a really, really good guy. But we were together up until I moved here, pretty short notice in 2015. We were kind of already both silently acknowledging that we were doomed for other reasons. But the opportunity for me to move kind of sealed the deal.
That's like you.
Yeah, but we broke things off. Within my first year, I had another boyfriend here. Well, I thought I was moving here kind of solo. I was like living with a friend, and I had a straight writing partner from maybe a school that you actually went to, who followed me out here to continue to write with me. And he was the guy who used to direct my content actually with the web stuff. But he moved out here, and to be honest with you, that was a whole other relationship, except we just didn't have sex. We were basically boyfriends who just didn't have sex.
Did you
we
kiss?
would fight like never.
Oh, okay.
Never. He was straight as an arrow, but we'd fight like a couple. We did everything together, like shared a car, like
Oh my God.
just everything.
Did you like him like that? Like, did you have any like
I loved
romantic
him.
feelings?
No.
Okay.
But I loved him like. It sounds corny to say, but it was definitely like a brother-like relationship.
Yeah.
Like I cared very deeply for him and all of that. But he would sort of get under my skin in the way that we lived together, shared a bunch of stuff together.
It's a lot.
So we'd have couple fights, and
Yes.
that kind of stuff. But finally he met a nice girl, and moved back to New York for love and all of that stuff. But anyway, and then meanwhile I meet another guy. We're together like
How are you meeting all these
I know.
guys?
Where are you meeting?
2.5 years.
Are you meeting in
I
real
don't want
life?
to tell you because I don't recommend any of these relationships in the end. Like it's not
But
good.
you stayed with them for so long.
Yeah,
each
but
of
that
them.
doesn't mean that I was like
Happy?
doing the right thing or that I was supposed to be with these people.
Did you meet
It
any
was-
of them in real life, or were they all online?
Yes. The first one, yes, I met in real life. And then, everybody else has been kind of online or...
I feel like you're really into the apps these days.
I fucking hate them, but I'm definitely an active user at this point. I don't know. My last relationship, I had seen this person on Grindr. We were always sort of nearby each other because I lived near where he lived, and but we were really taking notice of one another on the street. Like I'd see him running with his ass looking spectacular and his little running shorts and all of that.
Maybe you should start running, Jan.
And then
I hate running. I can't run.
it's awful.
I'm just trying to help you.
I cycle.
And I would be like standing
In
outside
tight little pants.
my apartment looking like a Tom of Finland smoking cigarettes. And so like we started DMing each other just about like, hey, you looked hot running. Hey, you looked like you're going to die in 10 years because you were smoking. That kind of stuff, and it was sort of like a DM. And I actually like flat out, not ghosted, but just, or not even canceled. I just didn't show up for like a couple dates. Like I made plans and then flaked. And
why?
with this person, I don't know, because I met yet another person. Like,
Oh my
because I broke up
God.
with this person who
can't
I
keep
was
up.
with for like 2 years, and then I met this other guy, this like real estate salesperson who was so hot but had a terrible ketamine addiction and all of this
no.
stuff. But I was
No.
just really sweating him because he was so gorgeous and blah blah blah. But I'd finally put him to rest. But I was still kind of emotionally there and just wasn't actually ready to date, but still committed to the dates. But anyway, I didn't show up. And then finally, like for the third time, I was like, listen, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. I would like to go on this date. And he was like, well, if it isn't my favorite flake in all of West Hollywood, I will be at a bar that is 1 block away from my apartment. And that's about all you get. And then we did. But it was.
Wait, did you end up dating or no? This
absolutely.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
I
the
couldn't
last
remember. This was the
relationship.
last. Okay,
Yeah.
This is the most recent one.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna
So-
say with the apps, like, I feel like it's just like a little store to see who's out there, and then when you see them in person, you know what I mean? It kind of is like it's the icebreaker sometimes.
Yeah.
Like the fact that you've seen them on the app, you maybe interacted or whatever.
Well, what's funny, I remember looking at this person's Instagram and sort of, well, I had 2 thoughts right out of the gate. It was like, okay, number one, this person has the best personal style I've seen out of any person that I might potentially date.
And
Like,
Tapley has
How important
insane
is that to
style.
you?
I'm
'Cause you're
learning that it's
stylish.
way more important than I thought that it was.
Okay.
Tapley
But-
always wears all vintage Gucci.
Not all.
Sorry. What? Please tell us. What are you wearing today?
In fact, I don't have a stitch of Gucci on today.
Okay, sorry.
I don't know, like vintage McGregor, vintage something from the 70s. These little pieces of shit are from ASOS, and I love them.
No, they're
Denim
so
boot.
cute.
Super
Denim cowboy
cool.
boots.
This is from Aled Martinez, which is actually the most expensive thing I have on.
He's
today.
wearing
It's
a
like mesh.
knit
Yeah, it's
striped tank top with a mesh panels.
Yeah, if
a
you look closely.
long red leather trench coat,
I love the trench coat.
flare brown pants, and denim cowboy boots. It's
The
spectacular.
flare pants have
Exactly.
there's texture to them.
Yeah.
That's important.
Yes.
Of course, you want to touch him?
Yeah.
Literally the most action I've had since yesterday.
Since yesterday.
But,
Are you being serious?
yes.
What'd you do yesterday?
What was yesterday? Yesterday was some. Okay, well, somebody who I met. Are you familiar with the app Sniffies?
Yes, I haven't
I don't
used
know
it yet.
Sniffies. Is it
So
alluding to
It's
poppers?
kind of the thing everyone uses now.
Yeah, well, so Sniffies is not even actually an app. Like,
It's
they
not.
don't have an app.
It's
You
a
have to just do it
webpage.
like in Safari.
Yeah.
I guess. Which
It's vintage.
Anyway, yeah, but so
Another thing you
it
love.
is like way more just sex forward than Grindr, because Grindr is a mix. It's like people who some
I
people
thought
are
Grindr's
interested-
all about sex.
It's
Well-
it's progressing different. Like,
Yeah,
Okay.
and that's still. I
It
mean,
still is,
sex
it
is
still
still the
is.
baseline purpose of Grindr, but there is more nuance. Like, I found people who are just looking to date, who are just looking for friends, who are just looking for a cuddle on Grindr, whereas Sniffies, it's just straight up, like straight to the point, and they're not restrictive about profile pictures. So, you know,
can
whereas
show
on Grindr,
anything.
you
Wiener.
can't actually show your genitals, and you have to have that in a locked app, right? But on Sniffies, it's straight up like, here's my
Hole.
gaping butthole, like right out of the gate. Like, that is my
I
main
just
profile
clenched when I
picture.
heard that.
Like, so you just,
Yeah.
it's just a lot more sex accessible. Like, you instantly kind of know what you're getting sexually with Sniffies, and that
And is
is
it like
really the only-
instantaneous? It's like I need to be sucked right now.
Well, it's the same as Grindr in the sense that it's like a map and you can see literally where people are.
Yeah, it's
so
like it's just a
crazy.
map where you see everyone's location
Yeah.
relative to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Have you been on it, Jan?
I've looked at it. Yeah.
looked at it.
I've heard
Looked
I've
at it.
heard about it last year for the first time.
Okay.
From someone I
so
was
you're on
hooking up with.
Sniffies.
Heard and he's looked.
No,
Okay.
but
But
yeah,
honestly, it's a
dabbled.
little bit like confusing, like the interface. It's like less like I didn't understand.
Listen, in the end, what it is just a very the reason
It's
why
unsophisticated.
why it looks difficult is just because it's
Yeah,
unsophisticated.
yeah.
But it's actually just it's super simple and pretty straight up ghetto, actually.
Yeah,
It's
someone
like-
well, someone told me when I first heard about it last year, they're like, it's kind of dangerous.
Yeah,
I was like, is
I
it
could
more
definitely
than
see
Grindr?
how it would be. But that said, I'm a very discerning person. Like,
Yeah.
literally on my profiles, I think all that my tag is just like friendly but picky, and I don't
Scary.
I don't really look. I don't end up meeting very many people at all that I end up speaking with.
Uh-huh.
I'm like pretty
You're
tend
like,
to be pretty choosy and haven't
not you.
been. Oh no, I was about to say that I haven't been in any danger, but that's a total lie. We'll
Get
can
into
in a
that.
minute.
Wait,
We
but
can
tell
get
us
to
what you
that
did
in
last
a
night.
minute.
Yeah, so what'd you do yesterday?
Well, this
you
wasn't
opened
last night.
Sniffies.
This was yesterday.
yeah, he
actually.
doesn't
Oh,
do
sorry.
only nights. The whole day's open.
Whole day's open.
I was very good last night, but during the morning, I had heard back once it was shown that Andrea had picked up my shift. Actually,
Yes.
I was like, okay, cool, I'm good for the day. I can breathe.
Good
I
old
have,
Andrea.
you know, whatever. And did a little wake and bake, and then I logged on to Sniffies, and there was a guy who I'd spoken to for a couple of days.
On Sniffies.
Yeah, and he was listed as like a bi surfer bro type, 6'4".
I love that.
Slay.
Really, I messaged first, like, pretty dick.
That was his profile.
That was your opening message.
I can show
Pretty
you
dick.
if you need to see it.
Yeah, I would
like
love to see it. We
it.
all love cocks
You're
here.
really good at describing, Andrea, like what you're seeing.
Yeah.
maybe-
So let's see
Let's
the
review.
picture.
Let's open up
Let's
Sniffies.
open
The
Safari
bi surfer.
and check out this surfer cock.
Okay, so
Does it save your chats though?
yeah,
Okay.
you can like delete them, and people often do, like, if you don't respond. And let's see.
Would you say it's called sniffies because you're like sniffing poppers? You're like
No.
sniffing
actually
people's
never put it-
assholes.
I
Because you're
why
like
it's
sniffing
called
out the men.
Yeah,
Okay.
but then also, I don't know, like, gays are just so disgusting now at this point with like body odors and like things like that. So I'm like, is it about like
Do you
sniffing
like
pits?
that
All-
or
no?
no?
No, I'm a full supporter of all deodorants,
Clean and washed.
colognes.
Mm-hmm.
I love my Vita Bath.
You have a signature scent, Tapley. It's a little smoky. Yes.
I'm not comfortable with telling people what my signature
That's okay.
scent
That's
is at
okay.
this
That's
point.
the one thing that's off limit.
Listen, it's the only thing I'm not going to fucking talk to you about today, except to say that it's this $11 vial of roll-on stick that I buy from Whole Foods that I smelled on a customer at a prior venue that I used to work at. It was the most intoxicating thing I ever smelled. She told me where she got it. It was Whole Foods. I will tell you that much.
Well, I feel like now I could find
I
it.
went and listen. So I went and bought a vial, and it's from a company that sells like 30 other roll-on fragrances, right?
You're not going to figure out what it is.
I started buying them by the handful, and very quickly, like, and I own a lot of expensive fragrances, but very quickly, everywhere I went, it was just, what the fuck is that? What is this? It smells amazing. And I freely, and people would take pictures of what it was because I'd pull the little rollie out of my pocket. And now I've been doing that for like a good year, telling everybody I wasn't gatekeeping at all. And now I can't fucking find it. It's out of stock. Every time I walk in a Whole Foods,
Can you get it
it used to be at Sprouts. I can, and now I'm buying it by like a big bottle
case.
off of Amazon instead of the roll-on stick, and I refill my roll. It's a whole thing, but it's much harder to find, and it's definitely because of me.
You
Yeah,
influence
we'll respect
people
your
too
privacy
much.
about
Just
that.
saying.
You're
so
an influencer in life.
delete this. Delete
Okay.
this. Okay, so we're doing.
So we're looking.
Okay, so
oh
it's
my
beautiful.
God!
okay, so 26, 6'4", 195, 8 inches cut. By wait.
I really love that he
where'd he
described that
go?
it's 8 inches because I've been in my mind like not.
Well, you can describe what you're seeing.
Okay.
It's nice. I like it.
So we're seeing a very tight torso, really light pubic hair, really straight, beautiful weenie, I would say.
Can I see it again?
Yeah. It has a really beautiful girth and length to it.
I'm
I would
also-
This is what
say.
it sounds like.
I'm also being attracted to his other veins in his arms.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
veiny
Being
arms
attracted
are
to
really
that
hot.
right now. Yeah.
The guy I'm fucking right now
Oh, it's nice.
has like really veiny like arms and hands, and it's like so hot.
Hands are
Yeah.
something that
Yeah.
I am very attracted
Yeah.
to.
That's a
like
good
not
wiener.
for any.
That's a good one.
Not. Ooh.
Anus.
Oh, and his
Okay.
hole.
Straight up. there's a
Okay,
hole.
so
It's, like,
now I'm seeing kind
practically
of the
hairless.
butt shot. It looks like even an ass that I am not afraid to lick.
Nice.
It
I know
looks
it looks
really clean. Yeah.
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 Wait, so then
I'll
what
talk to you
happened?
more about that.
Yeah. So you saw that. You're like, that looks good to go for me.
Yeah, we talked for a couple of days. Like initially the idea, I think on day one is like we should link up, we should flip, whatever.
Ooh,
and then
flip.
whatever. Point is, yesterday I messaged him. I was free. He ended up coming over. This person actually works really close to us at a different venue. I found
Wait,
out.
where?
At a restaurant?
Anyway.
Wait, we can't dox him.
Yeah, I can't. I don't want to say.
Yeah, we don't
but-
want to tell anyone where to get a big
Yeah,
blonde surfer cock,
But-
6'4", 8 inches cut.
You'll have to
Clean
subscribe to get that. Yeah. Pay us.
Somewhere in WeHo, you'll find that.
Yeah, but he came over. We smoked a little weed. Pretty easy to talk to, and yeah, and then I got a semi-toothy but decent blowjob, and then ended up just straight up topping him, and he did have a really nice hole.
That was evident.
It definitely did.
I fear that
Taste on point, no weird
Oh.
smells, any of that
Oh.
stuff.
He looked very clean from the pictures.
Yeah.
I
like-
think something about surfer guys is they can be really clean. They're always in the water. That's how I imagine it.
Well, but here's
No?
the thing.
Okay.
What?
Maybe we should put a little bit more of that ocean water all the way up the butt, because there did end up being
Oh.
one of the more aggressive like poo problems that I've
Wait,
experienced.
Really?
Tell me, because
But
I
it's-
want to talk about
However,
this.
But I don't want to blame this person.
It's
or
more
No,
even
no.
like really shame them.
No,
it's not
don't.
something that I'm not really used to, because I'll just go ahead and say it. Dick's out of the bag. I have a huge one. And
It really reaches and grabs.
like
some-
particularly whenever it comes to girth. So, at times.
Wait. Is yours bigger than his?
Yes.
I'm afraid.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a big dick, and as such, I'm used to having. I mean, Andrea,
Yeah.
I feel like this is kind of like a notorious thing at our job, is it not? Like,
Yeah.
She's.
Well,
she may or
Tapley
may not
says
have.
I have-
She
I
may or may
have-
not
I-
have mentioned
I
it to me
have-
before.
Yeah.
I have.
He wears skin tight pants so people can see the outline of his weenie.
Well, not so that people can see the outline of my
Is it
weenie.
not
that just
so?
happens to be a byproduct. I just happen to love the way that they fit, okay? And I like what they do for my ass. And they are flared, so they elongate the leg and they look
And
good
we
with the boot.
are
That
about-
the slip boot that I'm not supposed to wear, non-slip only.
Oh,
yeah.
Whatever.
Forget
They're
it.
too-
I
they're
have
too
to wear my
fabulous.
loafers. They're cute.
But anyway, there was one of our coworkers who no longer works there, but I remember a straight guy, and I remember the day that I started, and he was like, "You're gonna be really good at this. You have a whole extra arm to hold all your dishes."
Oh my
But-
god.
Wait, the one that just got
Wait,
fired.
No,
I have
Oh.
2 questions.
you can bleep this.
Oh, I love him.
Yeah.
I have 2 questions. One, what happened yesterday with the poop? I need to know that.
So the poop, it really was just, it was like 2 minutes of I was like, God, this is perfect. Like, this guy tasted amazing. His skin is so tight and supple. He's like definitely 26.
Surfer.
And like no weird smells, whatever. I'm actually pretty attracted to this guy, like all over, like from face to foot. And all of
Face
that,
to
like this, because usually I feel like in my experience, I'm always making at least one concession when it comes to sex. I'm like, oh,
Definitely.
this guy's kind of stinky, but
Yeah.
he's really hot. Or, oh, this guy's like,
You have to. A butterface.
really, or or is really boring, but
Yeah.
it's like gives great blowjob, like whatever it is. There's always kind of like a but. And
Everyone
so-
has their purpose.
yeah, but then in this moment, I was like, wow, everything really is just lining up. Like, what a great Wednesday morning. And then all of a sudden, but then I started doing the thing, where you like pull out, push in, pull out, give it a second, push in.
Yeah.
As soon as that happened, then the smell happened. And then after the smell happened,
What was it like?
it came am I good? Like him asking, and I'm like, yeah, you're
Oh,
fine.
but he wasn't good.
But then, like, the more I started to do the in and out thing, I was like, oh no, we
Was it
a lot
like
of shit.
like
starting to
Okay.
happen.
actual poop?
Like actual poop.
Not just like specks.
No, like actual poop.
Like
Like
Okay.
all
a
under the
piece of
like
poop.
lip
So what
of my penis
happens?
head and all of this stuff.
We're using protection or no?
No.
Okay.
I am fully on prep, and I did just get off. We can also talk about this. Just also did get off an antibiotic shot because I got my first STI ever. But we'll talk about that.
Okay.
But no.
Also, I'm also on prep.
Yeah, but we were barebacking, and he did kind of
Right.
shit on my dick, and
It happens.
I should not have given him a white towel after. I will just say.
Oh.
Did
Wait,
throw
so do you,
did throw it
you
away?
immediately
No,
stop after that happens?
No,
No.
I was pretty close anyway, and I just went ahead and just like I finished,
Inside or no?
and then immediately yes,
Okay.
yes, yes, and then I immediately gave him the towel. It was clear, that he needed to clean up, but
Did
like
he
look,
finish?
no, he didn't even get hard. Like really,
Oh, what was he
most
there
of the
for?
time, to suck my fucking dick and
Oh,
to take
shit.
it. And he did a great job on it. He just definitely he just wanted to like sub out yesterday.
yeah.
And it really
Okay.
wasn't about him.
Yeah. So
Coming, I guess.
can I have it?
But-
I have a little question
me
really
too.
quick.
I have questions.
So for me, I feel like when somebody comes in me I feel like it's really intimate. I feel like I really have to like trust you / like you / be in a relationship with you to allow that. I don't know. Is it different for you guys? Because it's like you can't get pregnant.
Yes, I think it is different. A, because we can't get pregnant.
Yeah.
B, because most of us are on a pill that make us immune to getting HIV. We
Right.
don't even necessarily really have that protection as like a cis
Right.
woman. Yeah, and a lot of gay guys just really seem to have a cum fetish.
Yeah, I do
My
understand the like intimacy of it, I guess. Like there's certain things like you're putting something in me, I guess.
Yeah.
In a different way. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I can understand that.
But I do really think you nailed it, like in the sense that like there are two very distinct things that we don't have to worry about.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
never have to consider getting pregnant. And if we're on PrEP, we don't have to consider potentially getting HIV. So it makes it a lot easier to kind of mindlessly, for me, you know, let someone come in me or
Yeah.
whatever. I don't really have big hangups about it.
So
Have you ever thought of having kids?
I used to, and
Yeah.
then I thought about it a lot more, especially in the context of my last relationship, and they were a hard no for
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
No.
What
I
if
have thought about it. and
would
I
it change
decided-
if you were with someone different? Could it change?
If this if this someone different were a person who had basically unlimited money and we could afford at least 2 nannies, that made it so that like I never had to do any of the inconvenient or like
Yeah.
taxing things, then like I guess, but I don't really see that happening for me. But no,
Just
kids are too
curious.
expensive. I'm too selfish with my time. And yeah.
My first the original question, and then I asked you that one was, would you get pregnant if you could get pregnant?
Yes,
Because
but
that's what we were
yes,
talking
but
about.
only to entrap a man with money.
wow.
And yeah, no kids for
Weren't
me.
you saying the other day, Tapley, if you were a woman, you would, I don't know, be shameless about using your body for money?
Absolutely, I did. You can quote me on that. I did. It is something that I said, yeah. I also believe that I said I would be fucking stunning as well if
Yeah.
I were a female.
I believe that.
Could you imagine
Yeah.
the
Huge
personal
tits,
style
huge
translated
tits.
For
to
sure.
Yeah.
to female limitlessness?
Okay, so that was your morning yesterday.
No, but you said at night you were very good. You were well behaved.
What about midday?
Yeah, I was well
midday,
behaved. All
afternoon?
I did was just watch Yellow Jackets and
Oh, don't spoil it for me.
Be
I haven't
high.
started second season.
Wait, so then, okay, so what about this other person that you're dating that you kind of have a crush on?
it's over.
It's over?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
Wait,
So-
wait, what?
Tapley was freaking out
Yep.
at work like
Yep.
2
A
weeks
month
ago. A month ago. Being like, oh my God, I really like this guy. He hasn't texted me. I don't know what to do. And then he's like, it's fine. He texted.
That's literally what I did. by the way.
Literally.
Especially the part where I was like,
And then he was like, do you think I should text tomorrow morning or tomorrow night to confirm our date? Like, when's too early? When's the perfect
That's
time?
what the inside of my head sounds like 24/7.
except mine was said out loud
Yeah,
to multiple,
yeah.
to like literally anybody who would listen.
No, I'll say it out
and
loud. I'll
everybody
say it
was
out
like,
loud.
fuck it, like fucking shut the fuck up.
No.
And like,
The entire shift, you were trying to figure out the optimal time to text to confirm the date for the next day or if he's not interested.
Wait, why did it end?
Yeah, why'd it end?
because I'm a fucking freak and I panicked. Let me back up for a moment and just say, so again, this is the first period that I've been single in a really long time, and it's the first time that I've in my entire adulthood that I've allowed myself to be truly single, and that I am really I'm dating very vigorously. I'm having a lot of sex with a lot of different people, and this is the first person out of any of those people that I was saying earlier, like there's always kind of something you feel like you're kind of compromising
Yes.
on, right? But with this guy right out of the gate, I was like, brains, check. Sexual attractiveness, check. Body, wow. Like, all of this stuff. And he hit the thing that's the hardest thing to hit for me, which is just a certain type of intellectualism. You know, just like really intelligent person. And this guy, and it was the first time I ever dated someone who was bi. And I feel like that's kind of sort of a popular term to throw around in 2023, but truly in the most classic sense, super bi.
I have to interject for one moment
Yes.
about you hooked up with a bi guy yesterday too.
Yeah, but I didn't date him.
No, I know. So
And I feel like that guy was lying.
he's gay.
Pretty queenie.
Okay.
for me.
Well, I like fantasize about like dating bi guys. I'm like, oh, that's hot.
Do not recommend.
But okay, what I was gonna say is the only ones I've interacted with are like mess,
Monsters.
like don't know what they want, like wishy-washy, like
Right.
blah blah blah. And I'm not saying that all bi people are like that, because that's like a negative stereotype I feel like of bi people. It's like they don't know what they want, like blah blah blah. But I'm like, where are the good ones?
I don't know. No, this guy, actually, I'm going to maintain, even though it's over, I'm going to maintain that I believe this person is a good person. But I will say, so that was the initial, like the bisexuality thing specifically was the first point of panic for me, because instantly I was like, okay, I have twice the competition now, and immediately got in the psycho headspace of like stalking this person's socials, trying to like determine,
Oh my God.
does this person tend to like follow or be followed more by females or gay
Yeah.
people, and like
God.
whatever. And very quickly the picture I put together was a lot of females, like a real affinity for brunettes particularly. I was like, okay, do I have breasts? No,
Andrea.
but I am a brunette. Great. Like, maybe I can work with this. Like, he definitely kind of had a type female wise, and believe it or not, very few gay followers or followings, but the ones that he was following were like something that I can't compete with, just like type wise. Like, it was very clear. And to be fair, it said a version of this in his Grindr bio, like he is very attracted to very femme guys, like acrylic manicures, like too much jewelry,
Oh my
like
God.
dangly earring,
Okay.
the whole thing, and like bad like processes and their hair and that kind of thing. And like, which whatever, go off. Like, I'm not trying to style shame anyone. Although they were all tacky. But
It is what
like,
it is. It's
but
just the
But
truth.
the point
Yeah.
is, it's like not, I'm not the most masculine person on the face of the planet. I'm not saying that, but there's like a big distinction between like how I present and what it seemed like
He was into.
typically into,
Yeah,
and like
little Twinkie.
yeah, and he did make it clear right away that he was not experienced with dating men.
Okay,
Like, he
I'm
would-
starting to see the problem.
He would like
Yeah.
for
yeah,
this being
definitely have
successful
plenty
for
of
you.
sex with guys and stuff like that with both genders and whatever. And I don't know anything about astrology, but I definitely
What
read
was
everything
he?
that I could about Virgo just because I was immediately obsessed.
Tapley's an Aquarius, by the way.
Yeah, I
I've-
still don't really know what that means. But
I don't know what that means.
But what I
either.
did read
Me
is
neither.
like
I think
Virgos are
creative.
supposed to be very like
Stubborn.
stoic and like
My brother's a Virgo.
yeah.
Yeah.
Stubborn and panicky.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
he.
don't-
Yeah.
yeah, I
That's
don't
my
know.
mom. She's a Virgo. So.
okay.
But it was weird.
Say
This
that.
this guy was really stoic and like hard to read, which made him all the more attractive to me, of course, because he was like
course.
inaccessible.
Well, we
and-
talk about this. Like, we're attracted to mystery,
yeah,
but
absolutely.
mystery is oftentimes toxic.
Sure. And look, like I didn't even end up dealing with this person long enough to know if like any of it was actually toxic,
Right.
like from his end. But very quickly, I realized that I was putting myself in a situation that was toxic for me because I was insecure in the entire thing. I wasn't experienced dating someone like him. And I found very quickly that all of our interactions, I wasn't enjoying myself. I was just panicking constantly about how to bend myself to like fit into what I perceived this person's worldview to be like. I just, I did the wrong thing. I liked him too much too soon while not actually knowing anything about him. I couldn't actually feel like or be myself around this person. And we were taking things like so painfully slow. Like, we're on, like,
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys didn't even
How
have
many
sex
dates?
yet, right?
it was like 5 dates
What?
until like we even
Kissed.
like got like
Okay.
sexual.
Fondled.
And yeah, it just, I don't know. And I could sense the same thing for him. Like, he didn't really know what to do whenever
Yeah.
he was around me. And it was just when I was like, it doesn't matter how hot I think this person is. It doesn't matter how like, smart this guy is. Like, when I look forward to the future, there is no there. Like, we're not ever going to be on the same kind of plane. And also too, I went on plenty enough dates with this person to like quickly enough start to not idealize him so much. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, I actually don't like the way his hair smells. He could use, like, he could have a better brand of shampoo, and I fucking hate your clothes. Like,
Oh, fuck.
You know, like that was
Yeah.
I don't
definitely
know that I
like the
could
most
do.
traditionally like hetero thing about him was his
Clothes.
wardrobe or lack thereof.
I couldn't do
Oh,
that.
shit.
Yeah, you know, I'm like, don't show up at Dantana's in like New Balances
Ooh.
with like a checked poplin shirt from Banana Republic.
He probably thought it was really
Are you
cute.
kidding? I don't know.
Non-committal.
I certainly didn't.
Wait,
And-
so why'd you end
then-
it?
because like I said, I understood. I came to a place where I was like, look, if this continues, I'm just going to continue to sweat being someone that I'm not, just so that I can exist in this person's life. But that's not actually going
wow.
to satisfy me. That's not going to give me what I need. And, you know, if y'all want to talk about that later, we can. But that's historically a problem for me in many different ways. Is just sort of never honoring what I know that I need in order to be happy. I have a tendency in the past to like, I have a very fluid personality, and I think Andrea could attest to this. I think that's what makes me a good server on the floor.
'Cause
of
you're
where we work, is
adaptable.
I'm very adaptable, and I'm very good at giving my energy to others and like letting them make with it what they need
Yeah.
in order to get, you know, and that's a pattern for me, and it hasn't paid off like historically, and that's something I'm trying to change within myself.
I'm like
So,
this.
Thank you. I hate it. It
Yeah,
feels
well,
horrible, but it also
it's-
feels like what is necessary in order for me to ultimately find happiness. I'm not comfortable being that person yet, but I'm forcing myself to do things that make me uncomfortable or make me sad in the pursuit of, you know,
Bettering yourself.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So ultimately, I had to. After our sixth date, and we had already planned our next one. The day of like what was supposed to be our most recent date, it just kind of occurred to me that morning. I was like, "Yo, are you free?" We were supposed to meet at 6 p.m. that night, and I was like, "Yo, around noon. So are you free to hop on the phone for a minute?" And he said, "Yeah."
Jesus Christ.
Heart.
And-
That would make my heart.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
How he
did.
Yeah.
And I told him a much, just like a lighter version of all that I've said to you.
Right.
Essentially, I was pretty straightforward, and his immediate reply was like, "Yeah, I was kind of feeling like we were probably on that boat." Like,
Oh shit.
and we both basically agreed, like, "Are you attractive to me? Yeah. Have we had a nice time together? Sure. Is this ever really going to work? Probably not." And it was kind of like the easiest, cleanest sort of separation of like a romantic pursuit for me thus far. It wasn't really emotional, it wasn't sad. I think he mostly felt the same way in different ways
Yeah.
about me, and his words to me were like, "You're really easy, Tapley," which, my God, if I had a nickel for every time something easy. But he you know, and we did the thing, who knows, you know, we'll definitely make good friends and can like still go to the movies together and blah blah blah. We probably won't, but like,
Yeah.
you know, cool guy. Not for me.
It's
good that
I
you
had
did
to do
that.
what I had to do in
Yeah.
order to free myself of this kind of pattern that I have.
That's interesting because it is the thing of like, okay, we're going on enough dates now where it's like, all right, should we continue? I don't know. Like, what do you do then? Like, do you have the talk with them, or do you, I don't know. I feel like I've just like ghosted, which is like not nice.
I don't ghost
That's good.
That's good.
anymore.
Well, I was gonna say is that I used to be, and I still struggle with these things that you're talking about, but it used to be so much worse for me, where it was like I just wanted like love so badly that I would just be like, fuck whoever I am. Like I
Absolutely.
will be whatever
Yeah.
I need to be because I like you.
Exactly.
And it's like obviously horrible. No one should ever do that. And now it's been like a years of growing and prioritizing. Well, why should I care about like molding myself to what I think you want? Like I need to know what I want. And if I
course.
don't want
Because in
you,
the end, what does
At the
it
end of
really
the day.
matter how good you are at bending yourself to other people's wills if in the end, like, you're silently suffering?
Yeah.
You know? And like I said, I have a history of having done that before with others, and I've also gotten into relationships with people where I knew from the jump that that same dynamic was at play, but inverse. Like someone who I knew was bending their complete personality for me
fit
to
into
accept
you.
them.
Yeah.
You know, and yeah, you don't want to be on either side of that equation. And to bring up my most recent ex, although it ended very terribly and, you know, ended up being like a really bad relationship, one of the reasons why he remains indelible in my brain and like why he feels the closest to the one is that was the first person that like I can at least say when we met, it wasn't me changing myself to be in this person's life, and it wasn't him changing himself to be in mine. It was true chemistry. And you know, although I hope to find that again, but just without all the other toxic shit.
Right.
And experience what that kind of dynamic might be like. So, you know, I've been halfway there at this point, and we're working on it.
Yeah.
We're working on it.
How do you feel about open relationships? Either you being in an open relationship or you inserting yourself into an open relationship?
I have super mixed feelings. So number one, I could never see myself inserting myself into an already established relationship.
Even if they're like, we're open and we don't care.
Yeah, I would say, well, I don't care either, and I'm not interested. But like, no, that's to enter somebody else's dynamic is just inherently too complex.
What if it's just one person that you're interacting with, not the other?
Oh, I see. No, still I don't know. That hasn't really popped up for me. I guess I should never say never.
I feel like
well, there have been plenty of people who are in an open relationship and just want to have one-on-one sex with me.
Yeah.
That's a different thing. Like I would have a hookup with that person, but I'm not going to ingratiate myself into their lives. I'm not gonna go on a date with them. And you know, if you already have a like straight up man, like why am I going to pursue like genuine romance with you? Like I'll always be the third wheel, or like at best would maybe end up it would become a throuple, and I don't want that. It's too new wave for me.
He is from Texas.
Yeah,
Texas traditional values.
And again, raised by my grandparents. Like I literally grew up watching two people be only with each other for 60 plus years.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm pretty traditional, but then also, look, here's the most simplest way that I could put it. All aspects of being in an open relationship were always a hard no for me. Like, no, not something I'm doing. And in my last relationship, especially with that guy, like he didn't even want to do threesomes, which like monogamy was the way to go for him straight out of the gate, which I respected and it was easy enough to commit to. But now that I'm like more single and I've opened myself up more sexually, I'm probably more open, I guess, in theory to trying some new things. But I still don't think, like, I could see myself meeting a guy, right? Getting into a relationship with him, establishing ourselves well, both of us having the conversation like, look, you make me super happy, you're my person, but I do feel like we're both men and sometimes we're just going to want to screw something else. And then, you know, maybe map out a way in which it's okay for us to get play on the side. Like, I could see that happen.
Yeah.
But I still think in my heart of hearts, it's still not ideal. I still like to believe that, because I've lived it. I've been with a guy before for 4 or 5 years and never cheated on him once. And it was okay.
Yeah.
I was able to like handle it. It's not easy, but I don't really think relationships are supposed to be.
Yeah.
I think love is a challenge.
I think the three of us are on this very much the same page in that matter.
Yeah. And I want to, you know, I believe in love and I want to be someone's someone.
Oh,
and I want to matter more. I want to matter more than other people.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what it's about for me. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to, if I really love this person, they're going to matter to me more than any other person in the world. So, you know.
That's gorgeous.
Gorgeous. Love it. Do you want to talk about your STD scare?
Yeah, sure. Let's
I'm
go.
just kidding.
Let's
you
go.
don't have to.
Let's fucking
What
talk
was
about
it?
it.
What was it? Can you say?
Gonorrhea.
Gonorrhea?
Rectal.
Oh my God. Did you feel anything?
Nothing. So what happened was so for PrEP, right, you have to go get tested, get a full panel
it's
like every 3
months.
months. In order for you to remain like eligible to receive the medication.
Right.
My 3 months was up. It was time for me to go get tested about, let's say this is like 6 weeks ago. Now I went in, I got tested, got my full panel back, clean as a whistle. And then like maybe a week or so later, I noticed I was about to run out of my PrEP pills and I was used to getting a delivery like on time. and the day skipped by. I didn't get the pill. I called the pharmacy. They were like, oh, after some investigation, it appears that the clinic failed to send us your results, and now we're like a week over like a clean pan, or a week past a clean panel, so like legally we can't refill the prescription. Like you have to go back. It's their error, but you have to go back and get fully tested again. So not even, I don't even think like 2 full weeks had passed at this point. And it was fucking annoying because they slipped under my vein during that visit and like had to like prick me 3 times, whole thing, whatever. So I had a bad attitude about going, but back, but I did.
Bad mood.
And then when I got a clean panel again, minus rectal gonorrhea.
Oh,
and this was the day, like,
of your date.
No. So sorry. Okay.
Wait, where?
Okay, so what happened is I went on the first date with the bisexual who made me psycho, who
Bisexual who made me psycho.
Yeah.
Title of ep.
That's my next.
thinking
That's my
Rebel
next feature.
Spirit.
Don't steal it. Thank you. Actually, the bisexual who made me psycho : rebel spirit. But anyhow, no. So I'd gone on the date with the bisexual. It was like best first date ever that Friday night. The next night, since we didn't have sex,
Thank God.
he did come home.
God,
He did come home with me that night, and then the bisexual, and we were like gonna, and then whatever, things got like it just didn't work out, and we didn't have.
It got weird or no?
Yeah, it got like a
Yeah.
little weird, but just because we both got way too drunk and like too stoned, and it just wasn't gonna work to have sex, so like we just did it. But then the next day, I was like, I did really want to have sex last night. And so so for a treat for myself, I'm going to go have sex with my biggest regular, who's one of my neighbors. And I went over
Special
to
treat.
special little treat.
Some people have ice cream.
Yeah.
Some people go
have
to their
anal.
neighbors.
Some people go to their fucking neighbors and flip for 2 hours. And,
Oh, shit.
but yeah, we had like a great little flip fuck. And then that Monday was whenever, like, so 2 days later is when I needed to go. No, Tuesday. I was supposed to go get my.
So did you tell him?
Well, no. So I went for my second appointment like 2-3 days later after that flip. Within a day, found out that I had rectal gonorrhea, and the day that I got that result was like the day of my second date with bisexual.
Shit.
And I was like, shit. And I definitely didn't tell him, like,
Which one?
but I was just like, I'm not
The
gonna.
bisexual.
Yeah,
Oh,
because I was
no,
like-
no, not him. I
so
meant
was like, now I
the
have to get a
neighbor.
shot. Yeah, I told him
Yeah.
right away.
Wait, how many people did you have to tell that you had gonorrhea?
Wow, that's personal.
Just him.
Oh,
Nice.
Just him, because I hadn't been bottoming very much.
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
like
yeah.
rectal only.
Oh, it doesn't go to the penis?
It can, but like there is
Oh,
a
but it
different. Like
didn't.
you can get like oral gonorrhea.
Yeah.
You can get rectal.
Oh, I thought
and
your
was negative.
entire body's like infected.
No, I don't think so.
No,
Yeah.
it was
Oh,
just
wow.
it was just rectal.
If only I had a penis, then I
Yeah.
could have more places to not
get.
or to get or to not have gonorrhea.
Well, it's like your butt or your dick or your mouth.
You have
Butt,
plenty of
dick, or
space
mouth.
for, like,
You can
yeast
have
infection.
oral.
You have the same
believe
thing.
me.
You have a vagina, a butt, and a mouth.
A pussy.
In fact, you have like way more
Vagina.
things that could get like
More
yeasts
receptacles.
and bacteriums
Okay, fine.
and whatever.
Okay,
But,
I win.
So I went and whatever. I got that result. I told him right away, and then he was like, "Oh, okay, I'm sorry." And then I guess I'll go get tested. And I went and got the shot, which they just tell you, after 7 days you're good. Just don't have sex with anyone. And I absolutely didn't. And then, but the weird thing was I never heard back from my neighbor. Like I did expect him to be like, after he got tested, to be like, yeah, confirmed. Like,
Yeah.
I did get
Yeah.
it, or
Oh, was he pissed?
whatever. No, I just didn't hear from him, like anything from him. And then for like 2 weeks, and then out of the blue, it was just like, hey, I got the basically like, yo,
Yeah.
You
wanna
up?
fuck?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Text
All
or
right,
whatever.
things are back to normal, I guess.
And then and I don't know. He did end up like kind of apologizing, but we
For
didn't-
not texting you?
No, just about giving it to me in the
Oh, he
first
gave
place.
it to you?
Yeah, he's the one I got it from, like my neighbor that I flipped with, because he was like
Wow.
the last person who had penetrated me within like
Gotcha.
I'd just been tested like 2 weeks
Yeah,
before,
yeah,
and I was
yeah.
clean, and then
Right,
the only
right.
other person I bottomed from was
Was him.
and so he gave me,
You know,
it was definitely him.
It happens if you're having sex. It can
Hey,
happen.
it
Yeah, and I
happens.
didn't care. Like, it
Yeah.
was fine. I was like, look, if at 36, this is the first time I'm getting an
That's pretty
STI,
impressive.
That is
especially
pretty
after being like a
impressive.
pretty big whore, especially this year, like, you know, I'm chilling.
So everyone, that goes to tell you STDs aren't as prevalent as you think.
No,
I'm just
don't
kidding.
say
I'm just
that.
kidding.
Do not wear protection.
No.
Raw dog or
Nah,
no dog?
yeah, it was fine. So, but there were already reasons why, aside from, like I said, I did feel kind of disrespected that he didn't bother to text me just to like confirm his results.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
see how
No, I
was
get
doing,
that
Yeah.
even more now
especially
that
given
The
that's one that you
aftercare.
gave it
Yeah,
to me.
yeah.
Like, I did kind of feel like a little bit dissed, and I didn't love just hearing from him out of the blue, being like, "Hey, like,
Right.
what the fuck?" Like, kind of like nothing ever happened. But it was the push that I needed. It was kind of like the straw. That sort of disrespect to me was sort of the straw that broke the camel's back for eliminating this person
yeah,
anyway
he's
from my
off
life,
the
because there were
roster.
other things like going on with this person that should have been unacceptable to me a long time ago.
Oh, shit.
And we talked earlier about like danger.
Oh, fuck.
This is the situation in which I found myself
Well,
potentially in the most danger.
Okay, well,
Oh,
tell
oh my
us about
God.
the danger.
Oh my
So
God, I'm
this
scared.
person, let me just say, like, great sex.
Wait, how long have you been?
Wait,
like-
I have to pee so bad.
Let's pause.
Do you guys want
Take
to?
pause.
Okay.
Or we can keep
You guys
talking.
keep talking. I'll go pee.
Yeah, go pee.
Okay. Well,
So how long have you guys been fucking?
so probably I want to say since like maybe October,
Uh-huh.
because I became single in July, and truly my first 3 months I was too depressed to even have sex with anybody new, and so it took me a few months to get back on the app. But he was one of the earlier people I kind of started talking to. Lived close by, super ripped, like great little bod, beautiful penis. Our sex chemistry, the longer it's gone on, has gotten way more intense, a
Yeah.
lot more intimate. Like the kisses.
That's
are,
the pros of like consistently seeing someone. Yeah.
and true verse in a way that's really rare
Uh-huh.
for me anyway. Like he really likes to give it just as much as he likes to get it. He like rolls up on a motorcycle sometimes, which is
Whoa.
the other day, or the last time I saw him, he rolled up in a suit on a motorcycle, which was really hot. 'Cause he was
Suit?
going to some networking event downtown.
Okay.
Wow. Anyway, super attracted to him, and it made it very easy to ignore all red flags. But pretty quickly, within a couple of months of screwing, it wasn't just screwing. He'd come over, like sometimes I were Postmates. We'd watch like
Yeah.
whatever on TV together, and would talk a little more together, or more and more, and
Like pseudo dates, not just
well,
fucking.
yeah, just like a little more intimacy. But then he shows up one day and he has glasses on. I'm not used to him. He had like horn-rimmed glasses on. I'm not used to seeing him in glasses. And whatever, we start to get down to business. I take them off of his face when we get in bed, and he's like, shit, you're gonna see my eye. And he had a black eye, which I hadn't noticed.
Oh.
And I was like, what happened? He's like, he didn't really want to talk about it, but I kind of pushed. And basically it told me that it was from who he said was his ex. And I was like, are you serious? Like, this guy just came and punched you in the eye? What the fuck? And he's like, yeah, it's been pretty contentious. They'd had a number of problems. Point is, it took months to kind of put all this together. Like,
Yeah.
the more information that I got, the more I was realizing this person isn't an ex. He's an on again, off again. And yes, this is my neighbor's apartment, like he's the leaseholder, but this guy, like, he lives with him, like, and
that is scary.
and like, because then once he started, it was months until he invited me over to his place. And
that's a
and then
red
I was
flag,
like,
guess, huh?
okay, this is not his hair product, this is not like,
Yeah.
and and he is kind of building this narrative. He's like, we work together, so I still have to deal with him, but but it's over. And then like one day he shows up. Was it that he showed up? I can't remember if he showed up or he texted me pictures first, but he has like fucking stitches in his eyebrow and like all beat up. Like I have the pictures
I don't
here,
wanna see it.
but it's like, it's crazy. So point is, what I ended up learning is like, he's just dealing with this guy on again, off again. They're intensely abusive, like terrible relationship. This guy doesn't keep his hands off of my neighbor, but my neighbor hasn't stopped dealing with him, like beating each other up, you know. And the more that he let me in and let me know about what was going on, the more like freely I was able to sort of see how intense like his abusive partner was. Like, you know, sometimes my neighbor would come over and then it was clear that like the partner was showing up to their shared apartment, and then so he'd like start calling my neighbor incessantly 20 times in a row, sending him like a flood of texts like, where the fuck are you, like you fucking, like all this crazy stuff.
This is dangerous.
Yeah. And then like my neighbor was keeping me as an alias in his phone, like for my protection, like being so that if this guy like ever found out my name, he, you know, I think he knew him well enough to assume that he could come beat me up. And I was like, no, like that. And it did take up until around very recently. Like STI time. That was the time when like the full story was becoming very clear to me of what was going on. So I was already starting to feel sort of in danger and just poorly about this person in general. Not because he's a victim of abuse, but just because he really was at the point of like knowing better and needed to make a decision that he still wasn't making. And so for many reasons I was losing interest regardless of how good the sex was. But this STI like really sealed the deal for me, and just kind of,
oh my God, I'm glad that this is like not a thing.
Praying that your neighbor will find clarity.
Yeah, and safety.
And safety.
Thoughts and prayers
for your
thoughts
neighbor.
And prayers to neighbor boy.
Should we do our final segment?
Okay, so we're doing our final segment.
Glimmer of hope. Glimmer of hope. Okay. Sorry, I didn't know it, or I would have tried to.
No, it's okay.
We can do it again.
Cool. No, it's okay.
No, let's do it.
Okay.
Glimmer of hope.
It's early.
Yeah, it's early.
Okay. You say what the segment is.
Okay, so this is the segment that we have at the end of every episode about what is getting us through it. What are we looking forward to?
Light at the end of the tunnel at our current moment.
Yeah.
You'll go last.
Okay.
So that you can like hear.
Or whenever.
Unless you want.
Unless you know. Because I don't have one.
I'll go last.
Okay.
I'll go last.
Yeah.
I'll go first.
Go, Queen.
So yesterday I had an artistic meeting because I'm in this playwrights group at this theater in LA, and it's like a year long, and we're developing this play that I'm working on, and I'm sharing it. We're doing like a cold read with actors this month, so we had like a little dramaturgy meeting yesterday and like a casting conversation, which was really exciting. It was really fun, and it felt like professional, and I was like, this is really cool.
Big fucking things.
Yeah. So
Hell
I'm
yeah.
excited.
Right on.
Very excited.
Right on.
Mm-hmm.
Very exciting.
Mm-hmm.
I guess my short film is slowly but surely all coming together. I mean, it's not really all coming together, but I feel like every day we get closer to making something happen. We're casting and locations, just whatever. It all takes a lot of time, but it's exciting. And I'm going to New York, and I booked my tickets, and I'm going to a wedding in June.
Nice.
It's coming soon.
Do you believe it's forever?
Yeah, they've been together for like
They
8
already have been
years.
together forever.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, and this is just sort of like
Bastards.
I know. It's a
They're straight.
big Southern Belle
Sick.
wedding, so I'm quite excited.
Ooh.
Yeah.
We do love a Southern wedding.
Yeah. This is
Yeah.
my first one.
You better tease that hair high.
Yeah. The other really waspy one I went to was in Nantucket.
Ooh.
Wow.
That was an experience
Ooh,
too.
coastal wedding.
She was like the Winnie the
Intense.
Pooh heir, and the dad made sure we all knew that.
Wait, so
Holy
was
shit.
it like
Yeah.
super
Christopher
expensive?
Robbins was my first crush, FYI.
Oh,
Aw.
how cute.
He's totally gay.
So gay.
Yeah.
Those little booty shorts with
Yeah.
like bobby socks
Yeah.
and like a fucking Mary Jane.
And a bunch of imaginary friends.
Queer.
Oh my god, I want Mary Jane's. Okay, your turn.
Okay, your turn.
Glimmer of hope. Well, it is Thursday, which means that my favorite dispensary has like buy one get one for my favorite type of pre-roll. So I do have that to look forward to. There will be a new episode of Secession on Sunday night.
This is true.
I guess that will
Yeah.
get me through the next few days.
How are you feeling about this season right now?
Oh my God, just Shakespearean
Yeah.
heights. Drama.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Oh my God.
Give it all.
Do you have a prediction for the end?
I am team I know that it's a pretty popular conspiracy theory, and everyone, especially at our job, likes to argue with me about it. But I am full team Greg.
Greg?
In the world, or in the end, I feel like he's gonna. I don't know if in a literal sense he's gonna be the successor, like in a technical sense. But I do believe that he is basically like the sneaky snake that takes the lion's share of like everything that matters thematically. Wow. I feel like he low key has been like super manipulative, like sneaky snake behind the scenes.
Because everybody discounts him.
Yeah, he's like.
Do you think the company's gonna flop? Like, is it gonna implode? Everything?
I feel like
I still don't know how this acquisition pans out.
He's so hot.
I'm not even Alexander Skarsgård. Of course, so hot. He's actually the one who gave me rectal gonorrhea. You can even believe that if you like.
He's the neighbor.
So allegedly, I don't want to get sued. Allegedly, keep her hands off of Alexander Skarsgård, toxic boyfriend who lives with him but doesn't really.
He's even taller.
Yeah, in person. No, but okay, so look, I don't have anything. I'm just going to be honest. I don't have anything super exciting to look forward to in my life. Like, I don't have some inspirational thing that's going on that's giving me big hopes for the future.
Well, you just sold your future.
Well, yeah, that's great, but that was months ago. You know,
Yeah,
I'm full back to like full blown depression.
Wait, you're in the WGA, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you just have to like chill right now.
I just have to chill and just keep writing.
Yeah.
It'll solve itself. These things always do. Truly, I'm not panicked about it. But what I am actually looking forward to is just I have quite a bit of travel lined up for the summer, and that's not something I've done really at all.
Ooh, give us a
year.
taste.
And
where are you going?
I'm just like, I'm gonna go to Santorini. I'm gonna go back to Italy, which was the last trip. It ruined my life. It was the last place that I.
Oh my God.
It was the last place
Jesus
that I
Christ.
went internationally, or before COVID, I should say. And truly, I left being like, no matter what I do, no matter where I go, I'll never see anything that I love more than this. But I'm gonna go back.
Oh, ruined you in that way.
Yeah, in
Wait,
the greatest
where'd
way.
you go?
The greatest way.
Where'd you go?
So did 2 weeks on the Amalfi Coast. So I was
Okay,
still
gorgeous.
with my ex, who
Yeah.
you know quite how
Yes.
rich he and his
Wow.
family
Yes.
were, but
Wealthy.
it was like their 60th wedding anniversary, and so they got this like
Oil heirs,
that
right?
no, his dad owned a paper mill and was
shit.
just like a high paid executive for many years.
Okay, paper mill
for
money.
whatever, like tons of money. But anyway, they like got this paid for this really lush anniversary vacation, like got a villa in Positano. We went to like everywhere. It was amazing.
Oh my God.
We're allegedly going to Italy.
Yeah, we're thinking about going to Sicily later this year.
It's nice.
Yeah.
Have you been?
I have.
Did you go on that trip?
No.
Oh, okay.
But I have been to Sicily. It's nice.
Yeah.
I really recommend the Amalfi Coast.
I've been there.
I haven't been there.
Sorrento,
Yeah.
all of it.
I've been to Sorrento.
I want to go when I'm rich though, and don't
I
have
know.
to worry
That's the
about
way.
budgeting.
That's the way.
Yeah, I want to go to Capri
Get
when
yourself
I'm
a
rich.
$200,000 villa for 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's the way.
That's the way.
You know, whatever.
And we
Fly
really can't do
business.
it any other
Where else are
way.
you going? You're going back
All
to
that
Italy. You're going to
stuff.
Santorini.
Yes. I'll probably do like a brief London Paris moment if it works out with my best friend, like follow her to a couple of cons, and then
Because she's an actress.
yes, and then New York some point in the summer, and that's it. But I just have lots
That's
of
a lot.
I haven't been, now that I'm not with a rich guy anymore, I haven't been doing any kind of good traveling lately. So
Tell me
It's a
about
lot
it.
harder for
This
sure.
rich guy just
it's so much harder.
did invite me to Costa Rica on a private jet.
And
But I don't think I'm gonna do
we're
it.
going.
I'm
I
just
don't
too
like him.
scared of private jets.
I will take the ticket. I will cosplay as
Okay,
you.
yeah.
Won't be that hard.
It really, truly
I need to
not.
grow out my hair about 3 more inches and we're good to go.
That's it.
Show a
Because
little
my
more
hair's
nipple.
short. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a little tinier than you, but that's fine. I don't think anybody will notice.
It's true. You're very tight, and it's in the stars that I like to snack. An astrologist literally told me that.
Oh.
She's like, the way you find comfort is through your stomach.
food.
I was like, that's not really helpful because I live in Los Angeles.
Oh my God. I've gained 7 pounds in the past 2 weeks because I haven't been going to work.
I love food.
Oh.
That's all I'll say about that. But
Well, this has been lovely, Tapley.
this has been so nice.
Yeah,
Thank
you.
you.
For coming
Yay.
on the pod.
Of course, I genuinely thought that the first time I appeared on a podcast, it would be as the victim of a crime on like an episode of like Dateline.
Oh my God.
So this is really nice and unexpected.
Do you want to plug anything?
No,
Okay. Tapley famously doesn't follow anybody on Instagram.
that's not true. I'll follow like 10 people.
He won't follow
But that's
me
only
back.
it's not about snobbery. It's literally about mental health. I only do it so that don't follow people so that I don't spend time on the app.
No, this is
yeah.
smart.
I-
This is smart.
I'm
Just,
too
like, being sucked into
stalkable.
that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to come look at like absolutely nothing on my page and follow me because like I barely post, fine. But I don't care about your fucking cinnamon roll that you had. What you
for
look
cinnamon
like in a
roll.
bikini.
Oh.
Sorry,
whatever.
Dre.
I would like to see
Yeah.
your dick, but let's do it in the DMs.
Let's
you
do it
know?
on Sniffies.
Fair.
Cool.
Well, thank you, Tapley, my
Thank
favorite
you.
coworker.
Oh,
Sorry for everybody else listening.
you're my favorite coworker too. Until
Aw.
someone else at work asks me if they're my favorite, and then I'll say yes, but it'll be a lie.
Wow,
But it'll be a
okay.
lie.
Yeah.
I really mean it when I'm saying it to you.
Aw. Okay. And that's it. Sorry. Wait,
Thi-
how do we end
say
these?
This has been.
Okay. Sorry.
This
This has
has
been
been
Horny for Love. Perfect.
Thank